How's it going, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you are having a great Monday so far. Have you ever had the experience where you've been going about your day just like you regularly would, and then you randomly have that thought to text or to call that person that you haven't talked to or seen in a pretty long time? What do we usually do when that happens? In that situation, when we have that random thought, we usually think, oh, I'll just do it later, or that doesn't make sense. Why would I need to text them or call them? I haven't talked to them for a while. Or why would they need to hear from me? Why would they want to talk to me? Or you justify it in some way, right? You come up with a justification so that you kind of can push that thought out of your mind. But what if these so-called random thoughts that we have are actually from a greater place than we even understand? Whether that's God for you, whether that's the universe, just something greater that has a better understanding than you do in that present moment. What if you changed what you thought about that to, this thought's coming from somewhere greater than me, maybe I should actually act on it. A few weeks ago I heard this story that was super touching from this guy that he talks about his childhood and when he was growing up, and how his mom always made a super conscious effort to act on those random thoughts that she had. So he shared the story about how one time his mom was just folding the laundry, doing her daily chores, and she had the thought to call one of her neighbors. She was like, oh, maybe I should call her and see how she's doing. So she picked up the phone, stopped what she was doing, and called the neighbor and just asked her how she was doing for the day. And the neighbor was kind of standoffish, kind of like, I'm fine, kind of like, why are you calling me? And she's like, oh, okay, well, if you ever need anything, just let me know, just thinking about you. And that was the end of the conversation. A few days go by and she has a knock at her front door. And it's the neighbor that she had called a few days prior. And the neighbor stood there at the front door and she was like, why did you call me the other day? And the woman said, well, I just was folding the laundry and I had the thought to give you a call and see how you're doing. So I acted on that and I just wanted to see what was going on, if you were all right. Then the neighbor said, okay, well, can I come in? I have to tell you a story really quickly. So she said, of course, come on in, have a seat. So they had a seat and the neighbor carried on telling this woman that that day that she had called her, she was actually planning her own suicide. She was getting ready to take the act and her husband was about to come home to a dead wife. She said that she had been hoping and waiting for a sign if she should not go through with this, because she had already made the plans and decided that she was going to follow through unless there was a sign. And that phone call from this woman ended up being her sign and her saving grace. After I heard that story a few weeks ago, it really stuck with me, and that's why this week's intention is going to be acting on those random thoughts that we have throughout our day. Now, as we go about this week acting on these random thoughts, that doesn't necessarily mean we're going to have some huge life-changing experience like that story that I just shared with you. Most likely, it's not going to be that extreme. You might not even notice or know that you impacted someone in any way, shape, or form. You can at least feel comforted and feel good knowing that you acted on that, and if that was something that needed to be done for that person or that thing needed to be done at that specific time, you can rest peacefully knowing that you did your part and you can leave the rest to play out how it was supposed to. What really matters with this is that we're actually acting on those random thoughts and following our intuition, because as we follow our intuition, we learn to make a habit out of that. I think a lot of positive things will come to us and happen in our lives just from following that intuition and actually acting on those small, simple thoughts rather than ignoring them and choosing a different path. Now it's that time again to get out our intention journals and set the intention for this week as we do our best to act on those random thoughts instead of ignoring them. Alright, once you have that done, go ahead and set those reminders in your phone if that's what you like to do. And thank you again so much for being here. I'm excited to try this week out of acting on those random thoughts to see what stories or what experiences you might or might not have with keeping with this intention. And if you feel a little bit off, if you've missed a few weeks, or if you are going throughout the week and you miss a few days and you feel like, okay, well, I guess I'll wait till next week because I messed up, don't feel that way. Remember that you can always start now. You can always start today. Whether you miss a day, just pick up where you left off when you remember to keep on going with it. It's never too late. So thank you again for being here. I will talk to you very soon in a future video. Have a wonderful, wonderful week.